is your executive offer and your package is what's going to give you confidence everywhere else, online, everywhere else. So that's what we just went through. So that's the very first thing. The next thing, now we got to focus on having a content system. You got to focus on having a content system. Now, what's important, this is how these two things play well together. Once you know exactly how you're helping people and what they're getting, everything you put into the marketplace, when I say marketplace, online, Zooms, your website, everything that you put everywhere else should be a derivative of what people can learn from you if they wanted to work with. That makes sense? Everything. So if you follow my content online right now, you would see 80% of the things, regardless if you go to my YouTube page, my website, you can follow Terrell Jones anywhere online right now, and you're going to see 80% of the content go back to what I train and teach people on. That's what's important about having a content system. Now, it's called a system because you need to have a strategy. You don't just put things out. You got to have a strategy specifically on how you do it, right? So let's talk about some strategy in terms of how to put content out, right, in order to get attention. That was some of the questions that we had, right? So a couple things. When it comes to having a content system, what I focus on is this. I like us to focus on how to strategically lead somebody to a sale. You really have to think about that. How do you lead them to actually be a client? That's very key, especially when it comes online. A lot of us, we just been helping people that we knew for years that were just in our circle. For us to really go to the next level, especially financially, it's going to have to be people who don't know you that's going to have to discover you, and they got to have a path that they're going to follow in order to become a client so you can really transform their life and take it to the next level. But when I started, I had no idea. I was just like, all right, cool. I got an idea how I can help people. Cool. Let me just put out some content. People say I should post X amount of times a day. I was just going to try to post. I'm going to do it whenever I feel like I have time to do it. And I was just kind of just doing anything in the marketplace, and nothing was really landing. And then I would say, damn, why I ain't getting no clients? I ain't making no money. Like, what's happening? The reason is because I was just doing things, but I didn't have any kind of strategy or system in place that's going to allow me to get clients. So your content system, this is what this is going to look like. When you put out every piece of content that you put online is going to be a derivative of, remember the 12 principles that we talked about? It's going to be a derivative of those 12 principles. The reason that that's important, as we mentioned, is if somebody wants that, you know that you feel confident within yourself that you can help them. So they say, okay, I see Charles working on that, right? Okay, I see him talking about it. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm going to automatically assume, if you're talking about it, I'm going to automatically assume that you're knowledgeable in that area. And if I assume that, and we decide to have a conversation, you have credibility with me now, to where now I'm going to be more willing and want to have a deeper level conversation with you outside of social media. You follow what I'm saying? That makes sense? So the system is going to be like this. You need to figure out, this is the key person is buying. All right, so one, we got to focus on, let's do like A. So A, we need to focus on topics. I have inside of my phone notes where every time I think of a topic, I write it down in my notes. So if you have like an iPhone or whatever phone, you write down, you have like something where you have ongoing. So I could be watching a movie, I could be having a conversation with somebody, I could see somebody talk on something similar online. I'm like, oh, that's a good topic. Sometimes I've spoken to y'all sometimes and I said, oh, damn, that's a good topic. Yeah, and I'll just say it like, oh, damn, let me make sure I write that down. And I do that all the time because that's ongoing content. People say, yo, how do you come up with so much things to talk about? This, because I'm inspired by everything that happens. I'm inspired by everything. Y'all could come here. This is content just from you could have a content just talked about an idea that you got from somebody speaking at this event, and that's a piece of content. And guess what? You're talking about, oh, I got an idea about, what I can add as part of my coaching program. And you're indirectly talking about your coaching program. Feel me? Right? So now you're not telling people you got to go buy. You ain't got to wave a big flag and say, come work with me. Content is marketing today. I get that? Content, write that down. Content is marketing today. Content is marketing today. It always like breaks my heart every time I see folks out there. I see coaches that they desperately want to get clients, and every time you see a post, it's like, work with me, I can help you. And it's like, damn, they don't get it. They don't get it. All you need to do is display and show your expertise in different ways. And that in itself is going to make somebody interested in actually wanting to work with you. Maybe one way, let's say we're talking topics, right? So you might choose, one topic that's about, how to achieve X in whatever your niche is. You might do another topic on how to avoid X, right? So you can focus on, you have your 12 core topics. I can take one of those topics that you have and I can literally easily come up with 100 different ways to talk about it. You could talk about different how-tos, that's different part of the processes. You could talk about mistakes of how to avoid that one thing. You could talk about you could talk about the limiting beliefs people have about that one principle. It's so many different topics that you can focus on just that one. Right? So just expand your mind on the types of things that you can talk about. But that's the first thing, is that have like an ongoing, like a running list of different topics. So anytime you need to create something, you ain't got to think, damn, what am I going to talk about? You don't have to think like that no more, because you already have a list, a go-to list. So that's A. B is method. Write down method. Coach, what's method? Your method is, okay, I can talk about this topic. So let's just say confidence, right? So if my topic is confidence, how many different methods I can talk about confidence through? When I say methods, I can talk confidence through me speaking directly in front of a camera. Let's talk about that way. I can do, you might say, I want to talk about confidence, like anybody here on TikTok? We got a TikTok account, right? You can dance, right? You can dance. You can have the music. You can talk about top 3 ways to be confident. Boom, boom, still confidence. I can find somebody that I've helped, and let's talk about confidence. You can interview somebody on confidence. Still confidence. We just change what the method is, right? You could do if you got a podcast, you could do a podcast. Maybe you could do like audio. If you want to do like the audio waves, you could do audio on you could do audio on confidence. If you want to do, you could put up a confidence quote, right? Give you some ideas and some things that you can do. You could do what we call front-facing camera. So I ain't got my phone with me, but so let's say, you know how you can do selfie mode, right? Well, who's to say I can flip the camera, hold the camera in my hand, and write out some tips about confidence? You don't even see my face. Right? So these are different ways. Once you start like cross-pollinating this in terms of all the different types of topics you could teach on, and you focusing on, okay, these are the different type of methods, you got unlimited content. You got unlimited content, right? So that's what that is. Now, that's just coming up with content, right? So that you have to post. Now, what's also important is having content. When you put out the content, is also engaging with the people who actually are, liking, engaging, and watching with your stuff. That's very important. And you got to find the time to do it. I know a lot of us, we work, we got jobs, we got things to do, but you got to find a way, even if you got 100 followers, 100 likes or whatever, like you have to engage with those people, because the more you engage with them, the more they're going to engage with you back. The more you engage with them, they might tell somebody. And it's literally, when they talk about humble beginnings, literally humble beginnings. That's really what it comes down to, right? So it's really about having this content system, and when you start putting out that content, engaging with those people. Because guess what? The more they feel comfortable engaging with you, the more likely they're going to want to take it offline. Feel me? Now that they want to take it offline, now it just went from, I've been commenting. Does anybody here putting out content on their topic yet? Who's here putting out content? All right, so if you're putting out content, then if you've been doing it for a minute, you probably notice you have some regulars, right? you notice if you put out content, everybody got regulars when you start putting out content regularly. Then what that looks like is those could be early signs of people who might be interested in your coaching.